Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Just a quick introduction of myself. I'm Charmaine and I started my first company back in 2010. Slowly, we grew our capacity back in 2011, increasingly even more in 2013, and that was when I saw the need to rebrand to Sky Digital Agency, and that was what we did, alright? And I also train in 3 other, we call it authorized training organizations, ATOs in Singapore. For Aventus, they are private schools. I have 3 courses with them. In today's video, I hope to share with you 3 things about Instagram. The first is how Instagram algorithm works. The second is maybe think about what kind of a content strategy you would like to think about with regards to Instagram, and how many times would you like to post in a week, a rough idea of how you can mix these contents up, and lastly, what social media, or rather what Instagram success really is about. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. The first thing about Instagram algorithm is how it works. Okay, this is a generic sense, meaning that this is probably going to be similar to many other platforms, say for example LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. And the only thing that is different is the triggers. Okay, there are other triggers that would be applicable to the different platforms. Say for example, hashtag is probably only applicable with the platform Instagram more, and maybe LinkedIn more so than YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so let's get started, alright? So let's say you post. That's the first activity that you do on your Instagram, and what Instagram would do is they will show your post to 10% of your audience first. And if they do not engage, that's where it stops. So sometimes you realize that when you post on Instagram, say for example you have 500 followers on your Instagram, and you realize that it stops at 50, meaning that nobody, like that particular post actually stops at 50 reach, and it doesn't reach out to more than usual. Say for example, usually you get about 100 to 200 organic reach, but it doesn't reach that amount. Why? It's because the initial people that Instagram push out this contents to, who were online at the time that you posted, did not like, did not comment, did not send or share it to someone, or did not save your content. There was either 0 engagement, which definitely stops there, meaning that it doesn't get pushed out to more audiences, or maybe it's less than usual, meaning that people scroll through, they did not stop at your post to consume your content. Those things are all tracked. So this reduces your reach and you don't grow, because if every single post is going to be like that, if every single post you post, you have 500 followers and it only reached 50 people, nobody else saw it, nobody else bothered to share it with their friends, commented, save it for later, that's when you stop growing. Alright, so this is the path. However, if the first 10% were shown your content and they engaged, they commented, they sent it to somebody, they saved it. Okay, I did not write like here because actually of all the engagements within Instagram, like has the lowest algorithm trigger, meaning that you might have 50 people liking your post, but it doesn't reach more people. It doesn't get pushed out being featured on top posts. It doesn't get featured, your post doesn't get featured on explore pages, top hashtags. So that's the thing that we need to remember. We need to try and look for what we call quality engagement, where there's a comment, preferably something long that makes sense, not just like 3 hearts of a like or 3 thumbs up. Preferably they ask you a question, or they made a statement, or they shared with you their point. Okay, and sharing with your friends, depending on how many people they sent it to, depends on whether they saved it for later. Alright, and then they start showing to more people. So it might have been, for example, initial 10%, there were engagement, they showed to another 10%. So if you have 500 followers, that would be 50 plus 50. Okay, generally it will be pushed out to at least 30% of your followers. So 30% of 500 is about 150. So at any point of time, if you realize that your reach is not 150, that's when it's the path was like this for your post. It stopped at 10%, it stopped at 15, 20%. Okay, but majority of our posts reach 30% of our followers. Okay, so let's say they push out to more people and they don't engage, same thing, it stops there. All right, and your growth might be slower. It's not that you will not grow, but maybe instead of 10 additional followers in a month, you get 1 to 2. So that's where your growth really is slow. Okay, almost stagnant, but you're growing, just slow. If they continue engaging, Instagram puts you on something called the Explore page. They rank you on posts and within hashtags that you have used in your post. So say for example, I have used quite a number of hashtags here, and say for example, one of the hashtags I was ranked, okay, and I was ranked on both the Explore. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, this is what we call Explore. The top posts for that day or that week would be featured, and when people click through, they are brought to your page. They are brought to your Insta story if you have an Insta story. If you don't have it, that's where they bring you to their accounts. Okay, so there on the desktop, you would see the top post first, and majority of this top post was actually posted some time ago. One day, it can be, let's see this one, 3 days ago, right? And you should be featured on your most recent. Okay, if it's a huge hashtag, more than 100 to 200,000, you might not see it at recent posts after a few hours of posting. So that's not a very good hashtag to use if you're not going to be featured. All right, so that's something that I would like to share with you. Okay, so that being said, okay, and look at this. Someone said early engagement is the key. Okay, that's so true. All right, that's so true. Okay, this post was done 4 weeks ago. So that's when you continue growing. Okay, and that's what we also realized in our recent account. We see continual growth when we are consistent in the time that we post, where we talk about our topics related but not always about ourselves. That's when we realize that there's growth. Okay, the next thing to think about is, you might ask me, then what are some of the ideas that I can post, Charmaine? So I would like to share with you a kind of a concept that we share, okay, with our participants from our courses, is to come up with a concept of ideation for a guideline to your content. You don't have to follow it to a T, but this helps you to understand what are some of the things you can post on your Instagram business account. You can post a motivational quote, you can post about your industry knowledge, you can post about a pain point, you can share about case study, right? Someone reach out to you, what happened. We usually share this on our YouTube and our Facebook and our LinkedIn, not so much on Instagram because the limitation is a minute and we have to do IGTV videos. So sometimes we do it on IGTV videos, but we do more of this pain point stuff on Facebook and YouTube. You can share a testimonial, right? For us, we seldom share testimonials on social media, but it's on our websites, but we are looking towards doing this as well. Okay, and then you can share something that motivates you, share about a lifestyle. Say for example, what I would say is a lifestyle is productivity, right? Or it's okay to feel not like yourself, being anxious sometimes, feel upset sometimes, right? And these are contents that we have posted. And I want to encourage you to think about what your content calendar can be like, okay? So for us, we only post Monday to Fridays. We sometimes post on weekends just to test and see how it's working. But generally, our weekend post has done the worst. And let's say if we don't post at a time that works for us, that performance of the post is like 10% of our total followers rather than 30%. So you have to ask yourself, is it worthy or not? it probably isn't worth it to spend so much time creating content and only 10% of people actually saw your post. 50 people only saw the post, and you don't even know that those reach were probably not quality reach as well, meaning that they didn't spend a lot of time because looking at your content. Partly maybe you posted at the wrong time, maybe you used the wrong hashtags. So these are things that we walk you through in our one-day Instagram marketing and advertising course, okay? So sometimes when we know that the content is good, but maybe we posted at the wrong time, we posted wrong with the wrong hashtags, then what we'll do is we invest a little bit of money. We put $3 a day for a week, 7 days, so $21 in total to boost and promote that post, okay? For us, any of the social media posts with Instagram logo or Facebook logo, we usually don't promote it because it will not be approved. We have tried it a lot of times, okay? So that's content marketing strategy for you, okay? Last but not least, what I want to share with you is what is success like on Instagram, okay? What people see might be your followers, the engagements that you get. Maybe if you're an influencer or celebrity, you get blue ticks. Those are what people see. But really, what makes you successful in your Instagram strategy, in your Instagram marketing and advertising efforts, is the content strategy, your commitment to the platform. You have a to-do list of what you need to, you are very clear on what is needed to help you get there, your knowledge and expertise that you share on these platforms. Just imagine if I want you to sign up for our course and I always tell you that, oh, you know, our Instagram course is upcoming, it's coming up this Friday, and then I come up with another post and I say, you know, our content marketing course is upcoming and it's coming up next week on Wednesday. Just imagine if I keep doing that. Nobody would follow us on Instagram because we're not adding value to them. We're not trying to understand what works on this platform. Okay, so that's the reason why we share our knowledge and expertise, but we mix it up a little bit with a little bit of motivational quotes just to encourage people. And we also do something called lifestyle infographics. Okay, so you would see that a lot on our post. And last but not least, you must have clarity on your Instagram goals. If you scroll through our post, right, the only time we tell you that we have a class is when the class has ended, and we show you that these are classes that we have conducted, right? So we don't specifically tell you like these are our schedules. Usually if I put like, even for this one, 7 quick steps to create an Instagram campaign, this was if you read this, okay, we didn't talk about our Instagram account, or we didn't talk about Instagram courses. We didn't talk about our upcoming schedules. So ask yourself, I know many of you might not be very comfortable with what I'm suggesting, but ask yourself, how can you attract people to you, to your brand, to help them understand what your values are as a person, as an agency, as a service provider, as a consultant, as a trainer, as a business coach, as a keynote speaker, as a professional of any industry, right? How can you attract people? Okay, right. Previously, there weren't many ways to talk about lifestyle topics. Right now, due to COVID, we have lifestyle topics. We have more ideas for lifestyle topics. We talked about tips for faster Wi-Fi at home. We gave 6 tips, okay? And we also talked about productivity. We talked about, it's not exactly mental health, but, you know, just letting people know that it's okay to feel bad, you know, and we tell them that, you know, if life gives you lemon, make a lemonade out of it, right? So that was our day 11 of COVID-19 post. And then we also talk about Zoom. What are some ways to secure your Zoom meetings? What are some good practices to have? All right. And usually we will always respond to our followers, and you can look at this 11 replies. Okay. So if you have what we call a lifestyle topic, motivational content, and you kind of personalize it, you ask people for their thoughts. What else should we add in? That's when you make it a safe place and you keep conversations open. Okay, and I hope that everyone can think of that. This is the key and the fundamental to success on social media marketing. It's not only Instagram. This applies the same to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to Facebook. All right. I wouldn't say Twitter because a lot of us don't really use Twitter. I think Twitter is really not for our context, more of Europe and US. Okay, so understand your strengths, understand your business context, what makes sense for you, and I hope to create a video to share with you what are some thought process you can have to choosing a social media platform. And I always encourage people who want to get started with social media, or maybe they already started but they just have not much clarity on what they're trying to get out of it. I would want to say that you don't have to be on all the social media platforms. Even for us, we only started Instagram in 2018. We didn't start on Instagram until we understood what we would put in place, whether we had the resources and time to commit to this platform. And even when we first started, I would say that we really gave in more of our time and strategy only in 2000, and I think a few months after 2018, probably already in 2019. Okay, and that was when we started our Instagram marketing course. I think when we really started to find success, we started our Instagram marketing course. Alright, so these are things that I want you to think about. And sometimes even if we ask what skills would you like to learn, right, out of these skills that we share, only two of it we teach it, but we didn't say that we teach it as well, right? So make a guess we asked a question, we say make a guess which of these 5 skills listed do we teach at our agency. Okay, so of course there's no comments for this one, partly because we actually didn't really tell people what are the courses that we actually we did lah, but we didn't say that it was we said that these were top digital skills to have and learn in 2020. So you probably need a bit of you would have need to follow us for some time to know that what kind of courses we actually conduct at our agency. Okay, so this is my encouragement to you on what you can do to to approach Instagram marketing and advertising, and I hope that this makes sense to you as well. If you'd like to learn more, do join us for our Instagram online course. It's 3 hours long. It's slightly more than 3 hours, but I also run through something called Canva. Okay, go to www.canva.com. You can design amazing graphics with Canva. For us, we didn't use Canva all the time. Some of the posts we use Canva, for example this one and this. The rest we actually use a bit of a mixture of Photoshop and PowerPoint. Okay, and of course we needed Adobe Illustrator to grab some of the illustrations, right? But in terms of layout, in terms of design, we use more PowerPoint and Macintosh, Apple's Keynote. Okay, so I want you to think about also something, okay, called when you actually follow your own brand hashtags, look at what people are talking about you. And this lady who was the co-founder of Marco Polo app actually liked our content, tagged her company, and her company then also drop a comment to say thank you for sharing. Have you tried Marco Polo? And I want to encourage you as a brand, especially if you're a startup watching this video, to do this. Start following hashtags that people would talk about. Do a bit of social listening and thank people for sharing, thank people for talking about your platform, and ask them if they have tried it yet. Okay, for us, we haven't tried Marco Polo, but we tried House Party. And we wanted to try Marco Polo, but we didn't know. I think what we asked were, are there games to play? But they didn't reply, so we didn't try it out. I think if they replied, I would have tried their app out. I would have downloaded. Okay, so these are things that you have to understand. And I want to show you another post where usually MailerLite and MailerLite would like our post when we... Okay, I understand that, you know, social media conversations sometimes is a bit hard to continue when people just say so good or 3 thumbs up, three hearts. Let me look at the likes. Okay, I just want to show you MailerLite. Okay, whenever we tag them, whenever we talk about MailerLite, they always like our content. Okay, they do it more so than when we talk about Clipchamp or when we talk about MailChimp. Let me look for Clipchamp. Okay, Clipchamp is here. Let's see. Okay, so when we tag Clipchamp, Clipchamp is notified that we talked about them, and they usually like our post. See whether MailChimp like this one. We talk a lot about other platforms, and sometimes they do like, sometimes they don't. Okay, so you see here MailerLite has engaged with our content as well because we tag them, but a lot of other brands like MailChimp and HubSpot don't, maybe because too many people are tagging them. But I want you to do that, to engage with your followers. All right, okay, so if you like to follow us, if you'd like to check us out, our social media link is linked in the description box below. We look forward to seeing you at our workshops. We definitely look forward to seeing you at our next video, and I definitely look forward to having a conversation with you on our social media account. Okay, be it Facebook, our live videos that we do 2 to 3 times a week, or our Instagram account as well. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If this video has been helpful, do remember to share it with your friends whom you know would benefit from our content. Do subscribe to our videos do subscribe to our channel. You will receive notification whenever we have new videos like this. See you in our next video.